Virgo, your weekly love tarot reading begins with a King of Cups, Hierophant, Five of Swords, and a Five of Cups. Your person in this connection is coming in with an Eight of Cups, an Ace of Pentacles, a new start, Hangman energy, and the Four of Wands, the 1111 soulmate card. At the bottom of the deck, we have Justice. So that's the tarot card for Libra. Some of you may have Libra energy in your chart that may be manifesting hard right now. We're going to come back to that bottom card. Let's get right into your reading, Virgo. How do you and your person this week come in? Well, they are walking away, right? They're walking away from certain relationships. We're going to get deeper to see if they're walking away from you. Although I'm not entirely sure that this may be the case. Nevertheless, they are walking away. You, however, you're resonating with a King of Cups energy. You're kind of like, you feel confident. You feel confident in your love and your connection. You're providing nurturing. Let's begin to get a deeper idea of what's going on here, because I think you may indeed be dealing with someone who is walking away from a relationship before you, or walking away from a connection that they just had. Knight of Wands energy. Yes, they're absolutely moving. All right, and King of Swords over King of Cups. So, yeah, they are absolutely moving away from a connection or relationship they had with somebody else that just was completely unhappy, Virgo. Just not fulfilling. And you represent, because they see you here as the Ace of Pentacles, I want to talk about that. You're representing a whole new opportunity for them, and they really, really desire to move towards you with that. King of Swords, though, is coming in for you. You're kind of putting up a lot of boundaries. I'm going to say King of Cups, yeah, you come in strong with that, that kind of like knowing what you want. Right? I know what I want. I know what I want in a relationship. And part of knowing that is setting boundaries with that King of Swords. How do you guys see each other? Hierophant and Ace of Pentacles. So as I said, for them, they see you as a golden opportunity coming in. You know, that Ace of Pentacles is the start of a new physical relationship with someone. Hierophant is how you see them. So, Hierophant is interesting. Hierophant can represent tradition and can represent the status quo, right? It can also represent our cultural ideas. So this person seems to fit into what your worldview is, or what your personal view is of the type of partner you want, or the type of relationship you want. They really fulfill a sort of... they fulfill that attribute, right? They fulfill that perhaps need, but, someone who certainly, is in line with your moral center, your beliefs. And that's really what you're seeing in them most of all, right? And this could be manifesting as a result of them desiring to move away from this person. You may be dealing with somebody, Virgo, who before wanting to get involved with you, broke up with whoever they were with, or perhaps even got divorced because of their moral center and their code, right? Which fits in nicely with you. So you may indeed be dealing with somebody who is handling things in a very sort of, I'm going to say an honorable way, but in a way that fits to their sort of belief system of what is the right thing to do, right? So let's go further. Four of Wands, Four of Wands. You guys, this is a nice connection, Nine of Cups. So once all of this is taken care of, you guys have a lot of fun. You know what I'm saying? You guys have a lot of fun and a lot of joy. But this is where it begins to get a little bit interesting, because as you begin to see your roles in the relationship, here we have a Five of Swords. There is a battle here that you really don't feel like waging, and your person is resonating with a little bit of Hangman energy. So again, it feels like, as I said, this person has walked away from somebody. They've broken up with somebody, but that may not be the last that you've heard of it. And there may indeed be some turmoil that follows you both, right? Yes, you clearly are resonating with strong love energy. Four of Wands. This is definitely feels like a fated connection. You guys get along great. You're very compatible. Your person is extremely happy, right? But they're kind of like stuck in a certain behavior pattern, and they're unwilling to sort of move or change, and it's causing some friction. And I think one of these issues, what feels strongly here, Virgo, is that you're dealing with somebody who's unwilling to sort of change the way they act or respond to this person here. This person that they've walked away from, as I say, it's not the last you hear of them. And so when they come back, it's almost as if your person is kind of like wishy-washy, or they're kind of, they're holding on to a certain way of handling the situation. But now that you two are trying to be together, you have a relationship here that you're trying to start, the way that they're handling their past, or the way that they're handling their exes or their previous relationships, is not going to work here. And so it's causing some fighting, and it's causing some strife, and ultimately you're not there for it. Two of Pentacles, yeah. Also, Virgo, for you, you have other options. Two of Five of Cups, Five of Cups. So we have Four of Wands, Five of Cups coming out twice. So listen, again, this is a beginning. Excuse the helicopter in the background if you can hear that, but you are in the beginning of a connection here with this individual. They absolutely see you as somebody new coming in. So this feels like a new connection. It feels like a beginning, right? But you're dealing with somebody who's coming out of something, and that something is some baggage that's following them. And the way they're handling it is not the proper way to handle it. Everything seems fine for a little while, but it's not the proper way to handle it. And so you begin to sort of say, hey, I have other options. Again, because you're not fully committed and together with this person yet, you may have other lovers, other options, other people that you were dating in any case, and you haven't really made your decision here yet, right? You end up, you guys possibly, it's interesting, you switch energies, right? You both resonate with Four of Wands here, but you also both resonate with Five of Cups and a feeling of loss, And I think ultimately what happens here is that your person, they see that they may be losing you, and they're in a mourning process, right? They may begin to be in a mourning process over you and over the previous person. You also, how do you guys end up? Well, for you, you're also kind of like, shit, did this not work? Five of Cups, again, like kind of just looking, I know this is beginning stages. You guys aren't together just yet, but it's almost as if you're mourning the end of what could be. You're mourning the loss of what could be. And your person here, I believe, is still kind of mourning the loss of their person. You both, though, however, recognize that this is a strong connection, and this is indeed, I believe, a soulmate connection. And so this is a really rocky start, mostly because, Virgo, you're dealing with somebody who has not completely dealt with their past, or they have not been willing to make the changes they need to make in dealing with the past so that they can move forward with you. Let's get your oracle: Spirit of Air, Spirit, Spider Spirit, and Spirit of Lightning. So yeah, air, clarity, awareness; Spider Spirit, fate and destiny, free will. Yes, there's a real fated feeling here, but there's also this free will here with this Hanged Man, where your person is choosing to do or choosing not to do. That's still a choice. And Spirit of Lightning, we have power, strength, and expression. Now, let's go ahead and see what animal spirits may be affecting this connection. Again, Virgo, yeah, it seems like it's just a rocky start to something that could be really great, but you're dealing with somebody who isn't completely detached. Again, justice, as I come back to this, before I pull the animal spirits, let me talk about justice real quick, because I did say we'll come back to that. And justice, can often indicate a rebalancing, karma being meted out. It can indicate also, that your person may be dealing, or you both may be dealing with like court issues, mediation issues, divorce issues, separation issues, legal issues, So there is an aspect of, bureaucratic messiness being here, and also karma having to be sort of paid off. And again, your person may have some karma they have to pay off. And as a result, you're kind of pulled into it because you're wanting to be with them. Phoenix and Scorpio. Wow. So Phoenix is ether animal spirit and Scorpio is fire spirit. The Phoenix, of course, we all know is about rising from the ashes. Phoenix really sort of understanding how a full and fundamental change, you just change in so many ways, but the essence is always there. The Phoenix rises from the essence. The new you rises from the essence of who you are. And sometimes you do have to just strip away everything, let it all fade and die so that you can be reborn. So there's a huge learning curve, a huge regrowing, rebirth, I want to say regeneration and growth period here through this person. Scorpio energy. Fire energy, Scorpio is very, very difficult animal spirit energy, very not paranoid, but quick to attack, quick to be defensive, oftentimes lacking any close relationships or very few close relationships, unable to maintain friendships because of the tendency of this animal spirit to lash out. So take care with that anger and that heat. Take care with that desire to lash out, or you may indeed be dealing with someone who is a bit like that. All right, Virgo, let me leave it at that. Watch out here, though. You're dealing with somebody who's, I'm not entirely sure they're prepared to move towards you. Even though you guys clearly seem like this is a fated, strong, destined energy, your person may indeed just may not be ready for you. All right. Oh, thank you so much, everyone, for watching this weekly love tarot reading for the Earth sign of Virgo. If you got something out of it, go ahead, like, subscribe, share. All of those actions really help me out. And I do appreciate when you take the time to do any of those things. But for right now, I'm just going to wish you all love, life, and happiness. And I hope to see you guys back here on my channel, Bow and Arrow Tarot, next Thursday for your weekly love tarot reading. Bye-bye now.